Dia ragu dengan apakah dia mampu untuk masuk ke negara Malaysia. Terlebih-lebih dia juga tidak memiliki rasa kepercayaan diri yang tinggi dengan warna kulit. Mungkin dia dengan penuh prasangka yang mungkin negatif ya jika ia masuk ke negara itu. Apakah dia akan mendapatkan diskriminasi dengan warna kulitnya sekarang? Rupanya ketika dia sampai di Malaysia, mohon maaf sebelumnya karena saya menceritakan kisah tentang wanita atau Minah Saleh berkulit gelap. Dan ini hanya menceritakan kisahnya, bukan maksud untuk rasis atau mengucapkan kata-kata diskriminasi kepada ras tertentu. Nah, hal ini pula lah yang dicemaskan oleh Minah Saleh ini guys. Ia begitu takut mendapat tindakan itu dari ras yang berbeda dari dirinya. Ia pernah masuk berbagai negara guys. Di ASEAN ini termasuk Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, Filipina, dan lain sebagainya. Tapi, di balik itu semua, ia sangat cemaskan jika mendapat diskriminasi dari seseorang karena perbedaan warna kulitnya. Ia selalu memikirkan itu jika akan masuk ke negara orang lain. Karena memang inilah pengalaman baru baginya untuk masuk ke ASEAN ini guys. Jadi, pantas saja kalau dia merasa canggung dan berpikiran yang aneh-aneh. Dan setelah berbagai negara ia kunjungi, tibalah giliran untuk Minah Saleh ini masuk ke negara jiran Malaysia. Dan saat di Malaysia, apakah Anda tahu apa yang dia alami? Dia tidak menduga sama sekali hal ini akan ia terima. Dia mengatakan bahwa ini adalah hal yang tidak akan pernah dapat ia lupakan. Menyesalkah dia? Dan hal apakah yang ia maksud ini ya? Jom kita cari videonya. Ini dia.
Question I get is, how is it traveling solo as a black woman in Malaysia? Let's talk about it.
If you're new here, I'm Sean, Queen of DC. After 30 years of living in Washington, DC, I quit my job, retired early, sold my belongings to travel the world full time. On this channel, I'll post travel tips and my travel adventures. If that's your vibe, subscribe.
I've traveled from Mexico to Thailand to Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, to Costa Rica, to France, to Romania, and back to Malaysia. Oh, throw Singapore in there too. I've been around. Being a black woman traveling solo in Malaysia, how has that been? Well, let me tell you, I'll start from the beginning. I first learned about Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia through Yuna, the musician, the artist. I love her music, and she's from KL. And I said, oh, wow, okay. I did a little research. This was years ago, nothing major. But I must say, I never heard anything bad about Malaysia. I actually heard that the people were very nice and it's a great place to visit. Whenever I travel to Asia, I'm headed to Kuala Lumpur. And upon arrival, it was smooth sailing. Through customs, no problem. I stopped to get a sandwich. And the young lady looked like me. She had my color skin, just was beautiful. And I was like, wow, they look like me. And I text my girlfriends and I say, oh my goodness. If the reception I received here, they were so nice and pleasant. I said, if the reception is what I received at the airport, if the city is like that, I am going to love Kuala Lumpur. In Washington, D.C., I didn't know any Malaysians, but I did know, like black people, they come in all different shades of the color. And there's not just one way. They look this way, look that way. No, we're a spectrum. The number one thing that I look at when I arrive in a country that I'm concerned with is safety. That is my priority. When I research accommodations, I look for safety, comfortability, and convenience. Those are my criterias, and I read all the reviews. That's how I selected where to stay. I didn't even look up how are black people treated in Malaysia, how are solo women traveling, is it safe? I didn't even look that up. I was concerned about where I'm staying. As far as I knew, they had a great reputation. I just wanted to make sure I was in a safe, convenient area. Since I had never been to Kuala Lumpur before, I pre-ordered my ride through Klook, which I use all over when I travel Asia. It's a transfer service. My driver was waiting on me and we were talking, very nice gentleman. He told me that I was staying in Bukom Bintang, which was a great area. I could walk to places and I would be safe. Perfect. My first visit was during a holiday. It had to be April, can't remember, but there were fireworks. My hotel was at the bottom of the hill. I had to walk up the hill every day to get to the main street. And it was nothing but a sea of men.
Maaf guys, kita pause di sini. Pause. Dan mohon maaf sekali guys, karena aku ingin berkomentar tentang apa yang aku pikirkan guys ya. Di sini kita melihat tadi atau mendengarkan apa yang ia katakan bahwa ia pernah bepergian ke Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Costa Rica, Perancis dan balik lagi ke Malaysia. Nah, kenapa dia balik lagi ke Malaysia? Tentunya karena ada sisi keamanan yang memang betul-betul ia butuhkan guys. Dia mengatakan di sini bahwa jika ia bepergian ke semua tempat, kemana-mana negara, dia hanya memerlukan yang diprioritaskan adalah keamanan dari negara tersebut. Makanya dia sebut Malaysia 2 kali guys ya, setelah kemana-mana terus balik lagi ke Malaysia. Nah, di situ ada nilai plusnya ya. Baik, kita lanjutkan lagi.
Just all men, and I guess that was their hangout spot because you had restaurants on that side, and it just was a busy strip. It was just all men. If you saw a woman, she was with a partner. And I told a friend, I was like, "Ooh, they got a lot of men here." But I walked up. Nobody said anything inappropriate to me. Nobody said anything unless they spoke.
Ooh, look at this hill, y'all. Ooh, good morning. This hill, woo, this Malay hill.
I didn't feel uncomfortable. They were minding their business. Some did stare. They know I'm not from there. I just walked minding my business. It gets dark at 7:30 here. I had to come back down the hill at night. It was lit. The street was lit too because they were out and you have these restaurants open and people are mingling, but it was all men. And walking down the hill again, nobody bothered me. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I didn't feel unsafe. I minded my business, said hi when they spoke, and got to my destination. And I said, ooh, that's a great feeling to be able to walk through this path of men and nobody bother you in any way or make you feel uncomfortable. Malaysians are reserved, almost shy. They smile, you smile at them, they'll smile at you. If you speak with them, ask them a question, they will engage your question. And men and women, they're not going to invade your space. When people go to China and how they run up on you and ask you to take your picture, touching your hair, it does not happen in Kuala Lumpur. If it does, that will be a surprise to me. They do not approach you in that manner because again, they're very reserved. Day or night, I feel comfortable when I'm out, when I'm using my phone to film or take pictures. I don't feel if someone is going to run up and snatch my phone and snatch my purse, although I am watching my back and I'm conscious of my surroundings. I never let that fall by the wayside, but there's a feeling of comfortability and at ease. And I don't feel that this is the culture of trying to get over on you. I haven't felt that since I've been here. Men and women, neither one has approached me inappropriately. Malaysians are not confrontational, they don't like drama, and they are not loud. Americans, we are loud. They will help you, they'll smile, try to help you understand what they're saying and what the rules are, but all that, you gonna do this, you wrong, that doesn't work here. Now, I've seen some people get into an exchange. All the dude did was bring out his baseball bat and the man left. But they weren't getting loud. They weren't screaming at the top of their lungs. They were, having a disagreement, but he never screamed. They were just having a disagreement. He pulled out his bat and the guy was like, okay, bye. True story. In stores, I don't feel profiled. There's always security, and I always have a bag with me. Most of the time, they allow you to just look and just shop. And if they see you looking at something, then they'll approach you and ask you if you need help. But pretty much it's a comfortable shopping environment. I don't need someone over me all the time, but I'm never followed. I don't feel uncomfortable as if somebody watching me. It's always easy going here. Once Malaysians see you, they're seeing me more and more every day, then they'll open up and ask a question. Where are you from? And then we can ignite a conversation. And it's so interesting because once they find out, oh, you're solo traveling the world, wow, they're fascinated. Men and women, they're fascinated that you're out here, you're doing that by yourself? Wow, that's a big deal. I'm glad you like Malaysia. So it's always a nice exchange. I don't feel unsafe sharing that information with them. And you can't always share that information with people. That's the reality. But I don't feel uncomfortable. It's a great exchange. And I like that now that people are seeing me, they're able to open up. We're not looking for anything other than respect and just a cordial conversation. That's it. And that's what I love about Malaysians. They are respectful. I've been invited out to coffee. No, thank you. Okay, thank you. That's it. We don't have to go back and forth. Well, why? And here, take my number. None of that. It's just a respectful, engaged conversation. Have a nice day.
Security, as I pass, they nod, and it feels good to start to build community when you're in a place and talk with the locals. My tea lady, she knows my order, she waves when I pass. It's a great feeling.
Traveling solo as a Black woman in Malaysia, I don't feel invisible. I feel my presence is felt and acknowledged. People see me, even walking down the street. They look at me, they make eye contact, they see me, they know I'm here, and I feel acknowledged. In some places, that's not always the case. Particularly if there's a language barrier, you can tend to feel invisible and that people are going by their day-to-day life and it's passing by. But here, people do speak English, and I just felt, whether they say something or not, they see me. People acknowledge me, and I love that about being here, that I feel part of the community. Now that people are seeing me back and forth and they're speaking, we're engaging in conversation, just exchanging pleasantries, they know I'm here. And that feels good when you're in a community and people recognize you, they're not afraid of you, and they're welcoming you. I love that feeling. And it was easy here. It seems easier here than some other places, but it's a really great feeling. We're all different colors here. My color, darker skin, fairer skin, brown skin. It's a range. I'm not invisible here, and that feels good. There's diversity in Malaysia. You have Malaysians, you have Chinese, you have Indians, Africans, Americans, Black Americans, Westerners. It's not a surprise to see a Black woman here. When I walk in the room, and it can be only me in that environment, nobody's like, ooh, where did she come from? They're used to a diverse environment and used to foreigners in their country. And that makes a difference. Oh, wow, a Black person. We've never seen a Black person before. Some places act like that, but not in Kuala Lumpur. As a Black woman traveling solo in Malaysia, I have not experienced racism. Not saying that it doesn't exist. I just haven't experienced it. And I haven't experienced a negative encounter with police either. It's essential to acknowledge that racism and discrimination can exist anywhere due to prejudices and misconceptions. I've heard from Malaysians there is colorism within Malaysia. The lighter you are, the better. Darker is ugly. I don't think so. I've seen brightening products here, but not as many as in Thailand. The impact of colonization is global. For the most part, my experiences have been positive. The only negative, if someone is inconsiderate, moving through a crowd, you bump me and you don't say excuse me, or in line, you bump me, you don't say excuse me, or you try to jump in front of me, that's not gonna work. I didn't say anything. I let the lady, and then she turned around and looked at me and she said, "Oh, you were next in line." Yes, I was. I wasn't going to let her go, but I wasn't going to make a scene about it. I was waiting for the line to open up, but she recognized and she turned around and said, "You go." That's right, lady. I don't play that. I don't play that. Overall, my experience traveling solo as a black woman in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, has been amazing. If you're a black woman who is interested in traveling solo or nomadically to Malaysia, come on, sis. Come on. They are very warm people. You will be welcome. You will enjoy your time here, feel safe and free to enjoy the community, explore the country, and just relax and have a good time. If you have any questions or want me to speak about something in detail, leave me a comment below. I want you to experience what I'm experiencing. We all have different experiences, but Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur has been good to me. I enjoy being here. The people really make the country. And that dictates the behavior of everyone else who visits. And I love that they are reserved, respectful. So when you come here, people are not giving drama. You're not gonna have all that misbehavior and clownish foolery, because that's not what they tolerate here. And I love that about Malaysia. If you've enjoyed this video,
Guys, itu dia video yang baru saja kita reaksi. Saatnya untuk melompat, saatnya untuk berjalan, berlari, dan juga melakukan segala sesuatunya di Kuala Lumpur dengan safe, dengan tingkat keamanan yang tinggi. Yaps, ya, itu tadi pengakuan dari Minah Saleh yang berasal dari Washington DC ya guys ya. Ini pengakuan dia langsung, yang mana awalnya dia merasa ragu ya, karena dia juga pergi sendiri. Dia ragu dengan apakah dia mampu untuk masuk ke negara Malaysia. Terlebih-lebih dia juga tidak memiliki rasa kepercayaan diri yang tinggi dengan warna kulit. Rupanya ya, aku juga baru tahu, rupanya tidak semua orang, ya mohon maaf ini bukan rasis, namun kita hanya mengulas pemberitaan ini. Tidak semua orang yang berkulit gelap itu memiliki kepercayaan diri yang tinggi. Bahkan ada sebagian besar yang mungkin tidak memiliki atau juga sedikit memiliki kepercayaan diri saja guys, termasuk wanita ini. Dan aku nilai di sini bahwa rasa kepercayaan diri dia mulai meningkat sewaktu melihat sambutan dan juga bagaimana orang Malaysia memperlakukannya guys. Dengan apa? Dengan senyuman, dengan malu-malu ya kata tadi guys ya, dan juga dengan keramahan orang Malaysia, dengan kehangatan, dengan rasa persaudaraan, welcome-nya orang Malaysia terhadap orang luar. Bahkan tadi ia mengatakan untuk mengajak rekan-rekan yang memiliki rasa yang seperti dia ya guys ya, mungkin ras yang sama. Jika ada berniat untuk masuk ke Malaysia, jangan ragu-ragu, jangan ditunggu lagi, langsung saja, karena dia sudah merasai bagaimana suasana, nuansa yang ada di Malaysia tidak seperti yang ia pikirkan selama ini. Hebat ya, hebat karena dia mampu melakukannya sendiri guys. Tidak semua orang yang bisa melakukan hal ini sendiri guys ya. Terlebih-lebih mungkin dia dengan penuh prasangka yang mungkin negatif ya, jika ia masuk ke negara itu. Apakah dia akan mendapatkan diskriminasi dengan warna kulitnya sekarang? Rupanya ketika dia sampai di Malaysia, ia banyak belajar tentang hal ini guys. Menarik ya. Selain menjadi negara wisata, Malaysia juga menjadi banyak sisi positif untuk orang lain atau untuk turis belajar dengan negara itu guys. Dan itu tadi seputar video yang baru saja kita reaksi. Semoga video ini bermanfaat bagi kita, menambah wawasan, ilmu, pengetahuan, agar pola pikir kita semakin luas ke depannya. Dan aku mohon diri, mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan dan kekurangan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.